Congratulations to the both of you. You did a spectacular job in this film. A very, very powerful film. And I wanted to know right off, how familiar were you guys with this history?
I wasn't very familiar. I'd heard about high-ranking Nazis or Nazis fleeing after the war and going into hiding, and I kind of knew that Argentina was a place where some of them had settled.
Yes.
But I didn't know, I knew Eichmann's name, but I didn't know the details. I didn't know the story about his capture and extraction and the trial. So that was all new for me.
How about for you, Haley?
Similar for me. I mean, you know, I know about the Holocaust and I know about the high-ranking Nazis. I've heard the name Eichmann and yeah, but doing the research that's what I love about acting, is that every single project you do, you get to really learn, and this is a historical thing, so I feel like I went to school for a little bit.
I wanted to ask about the prep for this because there's so much written and there's so much to watch, and sometimes it's overload, you know? But how did you guys focus in on preparing for these characters?
Well, there wasn't a lot. I was super excited because at this point I'd never played a real person. I'd never been a part of a true story. So I was super excited to learn about the time and learn about the events and everything, but also like learn a bunch about the character I was playing, because she was a real person, is a real person. I think she's still alive. Yeah. But I started researching and I found like one article and one photo, and then I was like, oh, that's all that's out there about her. So it was a lot for me about just learning about the time and like the woman's kind of place in the world then, and what was going on in Argentina, what life was like. And then, of course, learning about the Mossad and the whole operation. Yeah,
what's really conflicting about this film and about the story is that it humanizes him a little bit, and you can address this because you're playing his son, yet you're still becoming a Nazi. Yes. Tell me a little bit about that and how that affects you personally when you see a man like this humanized.
Well, specifically thinking about Klaus, I thought what was interesting about him was that he wasn't, from my reading of him, like a clear-cut baddie, and that would have been less interesting to play, but I wanted to make him someone who could have otherwise been a decent, good person who kind of falls down this path as much out of loyalty to his dad as kind of any right-wing ideology that he has, and there was maybe a world where Klaus and Sylvia could have happened and could have had this epiphany moment, but that idea is kind of dashed when his dad is taken.
Having someone like Ben Kingsley on set. Seriously, are you both learning from this man? What was it like to work with him?
Yeah, well, I was very intimidated, to be honest. Still am when he passed at the after party, and I was just like, but I mean, also really an honor, like being able to act in the few scenes that I had with him, just observing, watching him work and be that intense of a character, and like being in that being in the scene with him with that is just, of course, like an acting lesson.
Yeah, I can just imagine. Well, you've done a really great job, and I hope it's a movie that people go see because it's really, it's important. It's important to keep this going, and lovely to talk to both of you.